Today is the second part of our Chapter 2, which is Cloud Firewall Deployment. Our test purpose is to verify that Huawei Cloudcampus solution supports plug-and-play of cloud firewalls so that it can go online quickly. And this test is applicable to branch store scenarios with wireless and wired network access requirements and high network security requirements. And let's see our test environment, which is composed with the NC campus controller and firewall. And this test is divided into 4 steps. First, we create a site and add devices. After those devices are added, we configure the registration information on the firewall. And then we check the registration status and make sure the controller delivers configurations to the firewall. And here let's see our expected results. First, the ESN of the firewall is successfully added. Second, the IP address of the cloud platform exists on the firewall and is reachable. Third, the firewall is successfully registered on the NCE campus controller. And last, the firewall configuration is successfully delivered. And here we can see 2 tester precautions. First, the firewall must be switched to cloud management mode. Second, the firewall network must communicate with the controller network. And here are 2 troubleshooting roadmap. First, if the cloud management registration command cannot be configured on the firewall, please check whether the firewall is in cloud management mode. And second, if the firewall is always in the unregistered state, please check whether the firewall can ping the NC campus controller network and whether the security policy of the firewall allows the packet flow registered with the NC campus controller. Okay, so let's go to the master NC campus and we select site management. We need to create a new site. We just name it as Site 1. And then select the southbound service name. And on the device type, we should choose the firewall. Okay, now we can add a device by model. And before we add the firewall, we should go to the device and run display firewall run mode commands. And we need to make sure that the firewall running mode is cloud management mode. Now we go back to NC controller and select the device model. And the device is USG 6525E. Okay, now we have created the firewall. So we need to rename it as FW1 and click OK. And then we go to device management, choose site 1 and we can see the FW1 and we click modify to add its ESN. And now let's go back to the device and go to the interface 0/0/0. And this is an uplink port. We need to configure its IP address and set a route to communicate with the controller. And after that, we should add it into the untrusted zone. And to make sure the firewall can communicate with the controller, we can run a ping command. And then we need to do configurations about the southbound API on the controller. After all these configurations, we go back to the NC controller and we can see the firewall has been online. So this is what we call a plug and play function. And now we go to provision site configuration to configure the firewall. We select the network LAN and we need to create a LAN We call it LAN 10 because we should set the VLAN ID to 10, and we need to configure its IP address /24. Okay, now we can also create an DHCP option. We can select controller address, which is option 148 here, and we enter the value, and we click OK. After finishing the configuration of network, we go to interface, and we need to select the downlink port, which is gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 on the device, and we allow pass VLAN 10, and we click OK. Now we can go to the device, and we can see the VLAN 10 has entered up state. So we run the command this IP interface brief, and we can see the VLAN 10 has got the IP address we just configured on the NCE controller. Then we go back to the NCE. You can set a policy. We create a policy, and we choose to permit source address at all region. Just add it and confirm. Okay, now this policy group has been created. Then we go to the device again, and now we display the current configuration here, and we can see the configuration about security policy we just created here. Okay, so now all the configurations we have just set on the controller has been delivered to the firewall. So that's all of today's lecture, and we hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.